Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A Vogel Talks Menopause I'm going to be talking about more pre-existing conditions that can be impacted further with the menopause. If you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. I have spoken before about pre-existing conditions being made worse as you go through the perimenopause and the menopause. It's things like IBS, anxiety, joint aches and pains, arthritis, and things like this. But there are now a lot of women contacting me with more serious health conditions, and they are just so frustrated because there is no information out there that they can find as to why their conditions are getting worse or what they can do to help themselves. So with the ones I'm going to talk about today, I can't offer any treatment advice, but I can give you a little bit more information as to what other routes you could maybe go down to try and help yourself or get help through these particular conditions. So number one is ADHD. We know that this condition generally, concentration can be much more difficult. There's the restlessness, there's the finding it more difficult to have emotional control. But we also know that during the menopause, emotional control can slip, we can get more restless, we can become more emotional generally. So in this situation, the ADHD symptoms can start to deteriorate, so you can notice things flaring up a lot more often. For this particular one, you could look at things like concentration essence, which is one of the flower essences to help with focus. If you find that memory and the associated symptoms are getting worse, you could look at the herb ginkgo biloba. And we know with ADHD that sometimes sleep can be really difficult, and that can be compounded by menopause sleep issues. So you could look at herbs such as valerian and hops. Fish oils can be really good for memory and brain function. So you could look at a fish oil supplement, or if you're vegetarian or vegan, you could go with a flaxseed supplement. Tourette's symptom, I don't know anything about this or the underlying issues, but we know that in any situation where hormonal flux is going on, it's putting much more pressure on your body generally, which means that any conditions such as Tourette's could possibly get worse. Your body just can't cope with everything that's going on. So with this particular one, we would just say, maybe speak to your doctor if you're on medication for this. Check with them to see if there's anything they can do for extra support. We've got something called rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is an immune disorder where there's inflammation of the joints. So there can be joint pain, there can be flare-ups, there can be heat, there can be a lot of pain going on here. We also know that women in this situation tend to be on anti-inflammatory drugs. It may be steroids, it may even be immune suppressant drugs. We know too that going through the menopause, joint inflammation is really common. You can get things like tendinitis, you can get just general joint flare-up, pain, stiffness as well. So with the rheumatoid arthritis, in the perimenopause and menopause, then flare-ups can become much more common, they can become much more frequent. And we know too that falling estrogen decreases your pain threshold. So even if the pain isn't any greater because of the low estrogen, you will feel that the pain is more in this situation. There can be, with this one, you can look at herbs such as devil's claw. Whether it helps long term, it just depends on the severity of the rheumatoid arthritis. Remember the water, because the menopause itself is going to cause dehydration, and dehydration can cause more joint aches and pains. Acupuncture as well can be really nice for pain relief for this particular condition. We have a lot of women coming to us who have epilepsy, saying that their epilepsy is worse, and again they're getting more frequent flare-ups and they're getting less able to cope. So again, very often this can be as a direct result of falling estrogen. It could also be your dehydration, so definitely remember the water in this situation too. And another common symptom that a lot of women are coming to me with is fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia tends to be a muscle and joint aches and pains. It can be fatigue. It can be just a sense of being generally unwell, not having the energy to do things. So again, in the menopause, with all the changes that are going on, your body can get fatigued. It can get the muscle and joint aches and pains. You can get that general malaise of just feeling low, feeling down. So with the fibromyalgia, a lot of women are finding that their symptoms are increasing and their pain perception is decreasing. So that's compounding to the whole problem here. So what to do with this one? It is really important with any of these conditions. If you're on prescribed medication and your condition is getting worse, please speak to your doctor to see if there's something they can do. Now, regarding HRT, I know a lot of women don't want to go on HRT for various reasons, but sometimes we are saying to women, this may be the best route to go down short term, just to help you through this phase or to get you over this particular hurdle. So don't just suffer with all these conditions when there could be things that could give you a little bit of support. Maybe just ask your doctor to go on a very low dose, short term, just to help you and your body to cope with all this. Remember to still do all your normal self-care. It's so important. It's going to have a really positive impact regardless of what's going on. So look at your diet. Are you eating well? Are you eating enough? Do the water, and all of these conditions use up such a lot of body energy. So it's so important to get that rest, to get that relaxation. And please don't skimp on this one. It's such a vital self-care tip to do. You can look at complementary therapies, acupuncture, nutritional therapy, and this is a really good one, especially for things like fibromyalgia. Look at herbalism. You've got homeopathy as well is another one, and things like massage and just treating yourself for that little bit of extra self-care. Now, we know with these conditions that there is so little information out there, and the fact that women are coming to myself just wanting to know if there's anything else they can do. So hopefully with this one, I've given you a little bit of extra information, and there's maybe steps that now you can do where you weren't aware of before. If any of you out there suffer from any of these conditions and you're going through the perimenopause and menopause and you have found something that's helped you, please share this one. It's really important to get as much information as we can out to all those women that are struggling with these conditions at the minute. And until then, I will see you next week for another edition of A. Vogel Talks Menopause.